Alright everyone, welcome back to my Devil May Cry 5 S-Rank guide, and today I'm going to be helping you with mission 19. So this whole mission is fighting Vergil, and as you can see we're going to be here for a while. And I can't lie, this is probably unnecessarily long, but I've decided to give you a strategy that involves no royal guarding because some people might struggle with royal guarding. The only royal guards I'm going to be doing are at the beginning to show you how easy it is to royal guard phase 1. But if you're not comfortable, don't worry, we're not going to be doing that anymore. So for the people that do actually want a royal guard, my strategy would for you be to royal guard until you get triple S, fill up your Sin Devil trigger meter, and anytime you get the chance, hit him with quadruple S. Do a couple of hits in Sin Devil trigger and then turn it off. But okay, like I said, we're not going to be royal guarding here. If he starts throwing summon swords at you, you just want to trickster dash out of the way. You can use Barlog to jump, and sometimes you'll reflect it back at Vergil. And as you've just seen there, Vergil has done a rapid slash, and every time he does it, he's going to go in the air. So what you can do after you dodge it, you want to trick up to him and then do a helm breaker. That's going to get him on the ground, and then that's going to give you an opportunity to combo him. Just like that, he did it again. He went in the air, so I tricked up to him, helm breaker, and then I got some hits in. And after a while of comboing, you're going to knock him back, and then he's going to recover. Okay, and then he goes in for another rapid slash, so I go in for a counter attack. And another thing you could be doing here is throwing out your sword formations. I don't do it until much later in the fight, but that's also a good thing you could be doing. Then when he does a judgment cut, you can just trickster dash away, you'll be good. Okay, now as you can see, Vergil has two combos with his sword, right? He has a 3-hit one and a 5-hit one. Both of them you can punish after he finishes them. So dash away when he's slashing his sword, and then when you see him starting to sheath it, you want to go in for some attacks. There he does the rapid slash again, so it's an easy punish. Trick up to him and helm breaker. And for the amount of time you have to combo him, do what you want to him. Feel free to experiment. Some moves, especially with Cavalier, might take too long to hit Vergil, so he's gonna dash away before you can hit him. There he does his sword attack again, but he cancelled it because I was too far away. So if you get too far away, he is gonna cancel it. I make a mistake and get stabbed. If he stabs you, just devil trigger, you'll get out of it. And I should probably mention, this is a pretty sloppy fight here. I don't show a good performance here, but that's okay because I get you there in the end. Dodge the summon swords with trickster dash. If you want to try, you can jump with Barlog, that will reflect his sword back at him. Oh, and make sure you're filling up your Sin Devil trigger meter, because the second that Vergil goes into Devil trigger, the second we hit phase 2, we're going to be popping Sin Devil trigger, so just make sure you're saving that up. Okay, now you see Vergil has summon swords around him. What you want to do is switch to shotgun and then blast them away. A few shots with the shotgun will get rid of them all. But okay, I helm breaker him, meaning I can get a few hits in, which is good. Okay, I knock him away, and it's time for phase 2 now. He's gonna devil trigger, so what you want to do is go into Sin Devil trigger. So pop it, and then when you do, what you want to do is go into the loose, which is holding R2, and you're gonna launch a bunch of projectiles at Vergil. Sometimes he might just dodge a bunch of them, but that's okay, because you're still gonna get a good few hits in, and you're gonna do a good chunk of damage to him. Then afterwards, you want to go into judgment, which is pressing square and triangle at the same time, and that's gonna take off another good chunk of his health. But okay, now that we're in phase 2 and Vergil is in devil trigger, a lot of his patterns are gonna change. Like right now, he's gonna be doing 3 rapid slashes, and then he's always gonna convert them into judgment cuts. And speaking of judgment cuts, he's always going to be doing multiple of them now, not just one. And if he wasn't in devil trigger, you could time it right, so you could attack him after he's finished. Okay, now you see what's happening here. You can get a couple of hits in before he starts flying around, and when he starts, you want to prepare Trickster and Barlog. Okay, Trickster isn't exactly necessary, but what you want to do is double jump, and then you want to get down on the ground and jump again with Barlog equipped, because that's gonna kill all the summon swords that are around you. And then you're gonna want to do that 3 times, and then when he's done, he is gonna get out of devil trigger. And then if you caught that, right after the 3rd judgment cut there, I tricked up to him and did a helm breaker, because when he does the judgment cuts, he is vulnerable to hit, so you just have to time it right. And then this is the famous judgment cut end that we all know and love. What you want to do is dash out of the range of it before he does it, because otherwise you are going to take a lot of damage. And afterwards, he is vulnerable to it, so feel free to attack him. He summons a bunch of summon swords at me, I dash out of the way, and then I jump with Barlog, that automatically gets rid of them. He tries to hit me with judgment cuts, but fails. Now you see these are aerial cleaves, right? He's always gonna do 2 of them. After the second one, you can start beating up Vergil. Yes, he does summon swords around you, but by the time you finish comboing him, you have knocked all of them out. And it's worth noting that when he's in devil trigger, he's gonna do 3 of them instead, and that it's not worth attacking him after he's finished with them. But okay, I filled up my Sin Devil trigger bar, so I'm going to pop it again, and you should try and constantly fill up your Sin Devil trigger, by the way. It's very useful in this fight. And I do the loose again, so hold R2 to launch a bunch of projectiles again. They're gonna do a lot of damage. And then I tried doing judgment, but for some reason my input wouldn't come out, so I didn't do it. Then again, when he starts launching summon swords at you, just dash away, you will be safe. Then he does his aerial cleaves again. Avoid the first one, avoid the second one, and then you can beat him up. Jumping gives you iframes, so if you time your jump well enough, then even if he does his aerial cleave like right in your face and you jump, you will still not not take damage. But okay, we're around phase 3 now. He does his combo here with his sword, but then he launches a summon sword at me, and that tricks me out a lot. He's always gonna be doing that, so make sure you avoid it. He tries to stab me, but I avoid it. Now I get a chance to combo him. And now at this point, Vergil is gonna start blocking in the middle of your combo. So you can break the block in a bunch of different ways. You can do full throttle with Cavalier, which is forward Swordmaster, or a Devil Trigger Stinger. Both will break it instantly. And okay, as you can see, he has now started summoning Doppelganger. So what you want to do while Doppel is active, you want to start throwing out sword formations, because you're going to be dodging a lot. So sword formations are going to be your best form of damage for now. Try to get them to hit Doppelganger, but if they hit Vergil, that's okay too. For now, you're just going to be focusing on avoiding their attacks while throwing out sword formations. Vergil has exited Devil Trigger, but Doppelganger is still there. Try to build up Devil Trigger, or if you have an opportunity, go try and beat up Doppelganger. But building up Sin Devil Trigger is gonna get rid of Doppel instantly once you start doing the loose, and then you can get some extra hits in on Vergil too. But okay, as you can see, I'm taking a lot of bad hits here. This is not good. But alright, I managed to fill up Devil Trigger, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to go into the loose, and then Judgment right after. And yeah, this phase is basically all about killing Doppelganger while avoiding their attacks. Sometimes Doppel will just disappear by himself when Vergil does a specific move, like the one where it flies around the map. Doppel will disappear then. But Dante's sword formations are also really good for taking him out. But okay, Doppel is gone. Now it's just me and Vergil for a while. He does a Judgment Cut end, so I run out of it, and then I run back in because now I can get some hits in. So I beat him up. He starts blocking. I try and go into full throttle, but I'm too late. So unfortunately, he does dash away. He then summons Doppelganger again. So when he does that again, just start running around and throwing out sword formations while dodging his attacks. Luckily for me, he doesn't actually throw out Doppelganger for that long because he goes in the middle and starts doing his flying thing. So at least Doppelganger disappears really quickly for me. One thing to note, sometimes he's not actually gonna fly. Sometimes he's just gonna disappear and then summon swords at you. So when he does that, you're gonna wanna jump with Barlock to get rid of them, and then make sure you avoid his attack after he comes back. But okay, then you just wanna wait it out, avoid his attacks, and just wait till he comes out of Devil Trigger. He tries to do a Judgment Cut end on me, but I dodge it. Here I try to go smack him. He parries me, but it's okay because he's out of Devil Trigger now. I quickly shotgunned off his summon swords, and now I'm just running around waiting for an attack window, waiting till Vergil does a punishable move, and then I'm going in for an attack. Here he's gonna do his main sword combo again. He's gonna trip me up with a summon sword again. So I take a couple of unfortunate hits. You want to avoid that summon sword after he does his combo. He's always going to do it in phase 3. He does more summon swords around him, so I shoot them off. He's going to start doing some Judgment Cuts at me, so I get up close to him, and while he's getting down on the ground, I start smacking him, so I get a good few hits, and he starts blocking me. And I kind of have a brain rot moment here because I could not explain to you what happened there. He does some more aerial cleaves again. That gives me another opportunity to beat him up. Again, do not worry about the summon swords he summons around you. By the time you finish comboing him, they will be gone. And there I managed to break his block by doing a Devil Trigger Stinger, so I got a bunch of extra hits in there. He summons Doppelganger again, which regens his health because he's in Devil Trigger. So once again, start running around the place. Avoid all their attacks while throwing out sword formations at them. Try to hit Doppelganger so you kill him. But even if you hit Vergil, that's also okay because any chip damage is good damage. So just dash around. Trickster is always your best bet to avoid attacks, and throw out sword formations. I managed to land these on Doppelganger, which is good. Vergil is now also out of Devil Trigger, which is sick. Vergil tries to go in for the stab, but fails miserably, so that gives me an opportunity to beat him up for a bit. He starts blocking, so I quickly switch to Devil Sword Dante, but then I realize I have no Devil Trigger, and then he starts smacking me, but it's okay, I managed to avoid his attacks. So I throw out a bunch of sword formations at him, and then go in for a few more attacks. He starts blocking again, so I switch to Cavalier this time, and manage to break his block. And alright, at this point Vergil has a tiny amount of health left. He starts Judgment Cutting. I go into Devil Trigger and just double stinger him, and that kills him. And yeah, that's the mission. Vergil here slashes me, that triggers the cutscene. I quickly skip it. And yeah, that's the end of the mission. That was 5,800 style points. No continues bonus, 6,966 style points. That is an S rank. Hope this helped you out. If you guys enjoyed it, if you did, of course leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Adios.